Welcome to Tiger Field at Grimm Park, and here tonight we have the Texas High Tigers taking on the visiting Evangel Eagles. And Ray, this is a ball game here that we've been looking forward to for a number of weeks, ever since we found out, of course, the schedule, and people on both sides here have been looking forward to this football game as a game that has big implications, because Evangel comes into the football game as a national powerhouse.
Absolutely, Joe. In fact, they started this year ranked number 13 in the nation. They have finished as high as number 2 in the past. They have won 8 state championships in the last 11 years in Louisiana. They play a national schedule. In fact, we felt this game was important enough that this is actually a bonus edition of Texarkana football. We've done 2 games this week, and we're happy to have all of our sponsors. We're happy to have all the people here. This is such a big event for the city of Texarkana and for Texas High. To be able to play a powerhouse like this is a real challenge. And of course, one of the things that happens when you start having a tremendous winning program like Texas High has had for the last 3 years now, and so the games that you have to schedule other than your district games start having to be against people that also have the same problem. Nobody wants to play them.
That's exactly right. And of course, as you mentioned, the excitement here on the Texas side, since Coach Barry Norton has been here, he's built this program up into a state powerhouse. And of course, as we mentioned, Evangel comes in here as a national powerhouse. And these two teams meeting tonight, it's going to be a contrast, because Texas High is not used to playing against a team with the type of talent that we see from Evangel. Evangel runs a spread offense, and of course, Coach Barry Norton mentioned this week, not used to seeing that type of offense.
That's right, and the spread offense is a very effective running offense, which a lot of people don't realize, because it forces your defenders to back off the line, to be out there covering the receivers, and it leaves a lot of holes there, and it leaves you basically with 5 defenders versus 5 offensive linemen there. And so anytime those 5 offensive linemen can get their block, you're going to have trouble, and they're going to be able to run the ball. And Texas High is basically going to be forced to find out just how athletic they really are, Joe, because just about the only way you can really handle the spread is to line up in man coverage and stick to it.
And, you know, Texas High is going to come into this ball game being 2-0. Last week, we televised a football game at Arkansas High, Texas High. Texas High dominating the football game. And Evangel is going to come into the football game 0-1. And, Ray, I could just imagine this week that Evangel had some pretty tough practices. Now, they lost to a good football team last week. They lost to Springdale, Arkansas, ranked number 2 in the state of Arkansas, and an excellent team. In fact, tied at halftime 14-14, and then Springdale dominated the second half. So I imagine that Evangel is going to come in here looking to show people that we're a lot better team than what we showed last week.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a real tough road to hoe for Texas High, but Texas High is basically riding a long winning streak, maybe not consecutive, because they did lose in the semifinals last year, but when you look at the overall over the last 3 years, what they've done, it's really impressive.
And you know, Ray, a lot of times coaches go into a season, they look at the scheduling, and many coaches have this philosophy. They say, we're going to play the best competition that we can possibly play, because it gets us ready for conference and then later on in playoffs. And that's certainly what Coach Barry Norton's doing this year.
That's right. And, Joe, even sometimes, you know, you win a tough game like this, it's a real learning experience, but even losing a tough game can be a learning experience. You know, when the Tigers ran to that state title in 2003, 2002, I should say, that was a year where they suffered a loss to Mount Pleasant, which was a complete surprise, and it really galvanized the team. From that point onward, you never saw them have a bad game through the rest of the year. So this looks like a good test, something that can help Texas High develop a little bit more fortitude, a little bit more preparation for playing those tough games. And we're really looking forward to an exciting contest tonight.
Now, the Evangel Eagles come into the football game, as we mentioned, a very high-powered offense. They're running the show at quarterback Billy Bearfield, a senior quarterback. Denny Duron, one of the highly recruited receivers in the country, playing for the Eagles. Ramon Broadway, a talented running back, and then a very good offensive line. But Texas High on the other side of the ball, on offense as well, they have lots of weapons to present to Evangel tonight as well.
That's right. It'll be a very interesting test. You know, the Tigers had a rebuilding year. They only brought back 2 starters on offense, and one of those changed positions. And that would be Joel Skinner, who's now playing fullback almost exclusively, whereas last year he was pretty much a tight end all year.
Well, the Tigers set to kick off here. 24, Bradley Romano to do the kicking off, left-footed. Kicks the ball away. It's going to be taken at the 10-yard line, back to the 15, where he's going to be hammered at the 18-yard line, not able to get it back to the 20 on the coverage for the Tigers. Number 14, Courtney Hope. And so the Eagles will start short of the 20-yard line here. And right now, as we mentioned, Ray, Tiger defense going to be tested here because they've not seen a spread offense in several years. And it's something that is very difficult to prepare for in 1 week.
And I think Coach Norton basically said that what they're going to try to do is lock in their tight man and get to that quarterback, try to force him to throw before he's ready. And that's what you have to do when you're playing against a spread offense.
Denny Duran split out wide right, very talented receiver. Wide to the left, Ronaldo Gray, the quarterback. Bearfield. Billy Bearfield in the shotgun formation. Split backfield here.
Oh,
and a bad snap. Or at least he took his eyes off of it. Bearfield's going to scramble. He's going to
intercept.
Almost intercepted at the 5-yard line. And in and out of the hand.
Oh. Texas High is really wishing they could have that one back there. That was a chance for a quick score.
That's an outstanding defensive effort there. A lot of pursuit on quarterback Bearfield and Texas High. But a golden opportunity we'll see here coming up on the replay. Ray looks like he just took his eye off the ball there on the snap. And, of course, Chris Brown. They're going to see a lot of Chris Brown tonight, are the Eagles. And right there, a golden opportunity to score first in this football game.
Bearfield doing a real heads-up play. He was trying to just throw that ball away, and his arm got hit. That's the only reason that there was a defender anywhere close to that ball.
Bearfield back in the shotgun again. Twins receivers to the right. Duran in motion for the Eagles. Bearfield back to pass. And he's got an open receiver, number 24, with a very short gain, if no gain on there.
No gain at all, Joe.
Sean Jones, the receiver, and the Tigers there very quickly. And on the tackle for the Tigers, Corey Sanders. And, you know, Ray, when you watch a spread offense, there might not be a lot of people familiar with a spread offense, but they say, well, they're passing a whole lot. Actually, those short passes that they throw, it's almost like a running game.
It's almost like a running play. It's designed to be a very safe pass. It's almost no chance of being intercepted. And what they're trying to do is get a one-on-one running back, try to make the other team have to make open field tackles. And so far, the Tigers have done a great job of making those open field tackles.
Loss of 1 on the last play. 3rd down and 11. There's a flag thrown at the 18-yard line. And we'll wait for the signal. Coach Barry Norton of the Tigers signaling that it should go against the Eagles, and it is. It's a 5-yard penalty, lining up all sides.
I believe one of the receivers just actually looked at the wrong yardage and lined up about 4 yards off sides.
So now that'll bring up a 3rd down and 16 for the Eagles, and the Eagles not off to a very good start here in this football game. And Ray, last week in the Arkansas High football game, Chris Brown all over the football field, and the Eagles are going to get a lot of
absolutely
see him a lot tonight.
They're going to have to account for Chris Brown if they're going to run their offense successfully.
So 3rd down, 16 here, 10:40.
And Chris is going to go get the quarterback.
10:54 left in this first quarter, and a little direct snap to number 24.
Ball's out.
And the ball's loose.
The Tigers may have it.
Tigers say they've got it, and they do.
Big play for that Tiger defense, and there's some real hard hitting going on out there, and this is a great start for those Texas High Tigers.
Sean Jones, the ball carrier, fumbling the football, being recovered at the 14-yard line. So the Tigers take over in great field position after having that opportunity to take the football on the opening play with the almost interception. Here you see Texas High on offense. Curtis Sanders, Roy Burks, LaQuan Chapman, Jacob Harris, Robbie Jr., Aaron Kelly, Jay Roan, Ryan Mallett, Roland Smith, Joel Skinner, and Marquand Matlock, the starting 11 on Texas High.
I would not be
offense.
surprised to see Coach Norton go for the end zone right now.
Skinner in motion. Mallett back to pass. A little pass there going to be incomplete at the 6-yard line, intended for Curtis Sanders.
And the ball did get there, Joe, but he was screened by the defender. The defender was actually blocking his sight line of the ball, and all of a sudden the ball was there and hit him in the chest before he could react to it.
So 2nd down now, 10 for the Tigers at the 13-yard line of the Eagles. You just joined us, Texas High Tigers entertaining the Evangel Eagles from Shreveport, Louisiana. Big football game for both schools here. First time they've ever played. Flags here on the play before the play gets underway.
May have taken too long, Joe. It may have run out of time.
I believe it is going to be against the Tigers, a 5-yard penalty. Back it up. Bring it up a second down and 15 for the Tigers.
There was just a little bit of miscommunication, I believe, on that play. I think that the fullback, Joel Skinner, was thinking that play was being run to the right side of the center. And
so second down now, 15 for the Tigers. Back up to the Evangel 18-yard line. Hand the ball off to Roland Smith, and nowhere for Roland Smith to go, as the Evangel interior line there ready for him on that running play.
You know, Joe, on this next play, most teams, I would say, watch for a screen or a draw here, but I think with Texas High, you may be looking at a fade pattern to the right corner of the end zone.
No gain on the play there, bringing up now third down, 15 for the Tigers.
If the Tigers were to attempt a field goal in case they don't get any yardage, we'd be looking at a 35-yarder.
One back set. Mallett under center. Matlock split out
single
wide
coverage
to the right.
out here.
Sanders to the left. Little fade play, as you said, Ray. And ball's thrown just too far for Sanders out there. And it's going to bring up now fourth down, 15 for the Tigers. And looks like the Tigers are going to attempt a field goal. Bradley Romano, the kicker, coming on the field.
And so far, a good showing by that Evangel defense. The Tiger offense is going to really have their work cut out for them tonight.
Going to place the tee down at the 25. So, Ray, this will be a 35-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark for Romano, who is a soccer-style kicker. So, actually should be in his advantage here, kicking from the left hash mark. Actually, left footer, so maybe not to his advantage here, left footer. And it is going to be off to the left, I believe.
Just missed it.
Tough angle there for a left footer. Now, had that been a right-footed kicker, that would have been a good angle for him. That's a tough angle there for a left-footed kicker.
Absolutely.
So the Evangel defense, Ray, comes up big here, turning over the football on their own 13-yard line, and Texas High not able to get any points out of it. It's got to be a big lift for those Eagles.
That's right. It gives their defense a little bit of a boost, but Texas High's defense is back in. They said, hey, we almost scored on the first play of the game. We'll see if we can score here.
Right now, we've got a defensive battle on our hands here as both offenses trying to feel out the defense, trying to figure out what they can do against two very talented defensive units on the field here tonight at Tiger Field. Bearfield back in the shotgun again. One back set, going to hand the ball off.
Nothing.
And no running room that time for the running back here. It's Wes Winston.
Number 43 for the Tigers.
43 for the Tigers is Dustin
Ernst on that tackle.
So,
a good job.
Good job there. A pickup of maybe 2 on the carry. $9:20 left here in the first quarter from Tiger Field, 0-0.
The Tigers are really flying to the ball. I wouldn't be surprised to see a misdirection play.
We have 4 receivers out in the pattern. Man in motion. Tigers look like they're going to blitz. Bearfield's going to split out wide to his right. He's got some pressure there. He gets away from him. He's going to run at the 20, the 25, maybe up to the 26-yard line where he's hit very hard over there.
Picked up about 3 or 4 yards, though.
That's a tough 3 or 4 yards as the quarterback there, Billy Bearfield, takes a tough hit at the 25-yard line, falls forward to the 26. Going to bring up third down 4 now for the Eagles. 8:40 left here in the opening period from Tiger Field at Grimm Park. Texas High Tigers and the visiting Evangel Eagles out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Very much anticipated matchup here between these two very talented football teams.
And I'll tell you what, Evangel, though, took that 4 or 5 yard gain. They got themselves in a situation where they don't have to try to get 8 yards, so there's a lot of options open for that offense.
Bearfield again in the shotgun formation. Back to pass. He's got plenty of time. This time he's got a receiver open, but there is a flag down.
There's a flag down, and it looks like it's going to be holding.
That's Denny Duron with the reception up to the 32, but that is going to be a hold against the Eagles, so that'll bring it back.
They basically were assaulting Chris Brown back there. In fact, they were all over him so bad they could have been married in a few states.
Had plenty of time, and certainly that's the reason that the quarterback had plenty of time is Offensive lineman holding there on the play.
Well,
we'll repeat 3rd down.
And in defense of that, of the lineman and the running back, I think that were all over him. That was the only way they were going to keep him from getting to that quarterback, because he was in there and he was in there quick.
3rd down now, 14 for the Eagles at their own 16-yard line.
Now you might look for a screen or a draw, something like that.
Last week I caught a little bit of the telecast between Springdale and Evangel, and Evangel uses the little bubble screen pretty well, so we may look for that some here tonight. Fairfield back to pass. Brown's back there being blocked by 2 of them. Griffin's going to have to take off and run. He's going to be knocked down at the 21, well short of the 1st down.
Should be a punting situation for Evangel. And that Tiger defense has held again now, 2 for 2.
Number 41 there on the tackle. Don't have him on our program. Try to find out later on who he is, but there for the tackle. So the Tiger defense holding again as the Eagles will be forced to punt the football for the first time tonight. Corey Sanders back deep for the Tigers, standing at his own 45. A very high, lazy punt angled away, but Sanders able to get his hands on it, and he's going to be down at the 45-yard line.
I didn't see him call for a fair catch, Joe. That's kind of scary, but he did catch the ball. He got over there and caught it.
There were 2 or 3 Evangel players back there as he caught the football. So the Tigers going to take over again in good field position. Not as good as the first time when they got it on the Evangel 13, but certainly good field position.
That's
at
right.
45.
And again, I think you're going to start to see some situational play calling here. If you notice on the fade route that they threw to the left side, they had single coverage way over on the right side with the whole defensive backfield open. You've got 2 receivers out and no defender. Okay, he's coming over now. Single coverage locked up on the 2 receivers on the left side.
1st and 10 now for the Tigers. Their own 45-yard line. 7:03 to play here in the 1st quarter from Tiger Field. Little fade play thrown to Sanders at the 35, incomplete. Ray, that's a tough catch right there, looking back over your shoulder.
Now, Ryan Mallett actually audibled over there to that receiver, noticing the coverage they were in, and that was a good play. It just didn't connect.
So 2nd down, 10 for the Tigers at their own 45-yard line. Good crowd out here for both teams, and we've talked about a very much anticipated matchup between 2 very good football teams.
You've got your tight end and your fullback back in the game here, so we may see a running play or we may see a play action pass.
2 minutes split out wide to the left. Now make it 3 with Joel Skinner going to go in motion. Little toss back to Roderick Gullett. Got a little bit of room, but hit hard at the 47-yard line.
Joey, he kind of shot through a little opening there and got about 1 yard, and then all of a sudden he was just blasted back there. So a lot of hard hitting going on tonight.
Looked like he might have had a little bit of room to run there, but a very tough, hard tackle at the 47. Only picks up 2 yards, so bring up 3rd down now, 8 for the Tigers. 6:30 left here in the 1st quarter from Tiger Field. Maybe a little draw play here, Ray. 3rd down and 8, something safe.
Draw or screen. I mean, hate to keep saying that, but when you don't want to give up, you don't want to turn over the ball here.
Allen back to pass. He's going to be hit from behind and down at the 40-yard line.
That was just a blitz by Evangel. They brought 6 men, excuse me.
Wes Winston, strong safety coming from the blind side, and Mallett had no idea that he was back there, and a loss on the play back to the 41-yard line. Bringing up now 4th down and 13 for the Tigers. Mallett going to be back to punt the football, standing inside his own 30. Denny Duron, very talented receiver we talked about in the opening, back deep for Evangel at the 18. And Ray, they've got to get down there quickly and cover Denny Duron.
Good snap. Nope, they're setting up a return.
Very high punt. Duron with the ball at the 20. The 25 is going to be a penalty. The 30.
Block in the back.
The 35, and that's going to come back.
Come back to the point of the block in the back and go back another 10 yards.
So the Eagles are going to start deep in their own territory again at approximately the 13-yard line as the block in the back occurred there on the run back. As the officials talk about it, we want to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors as we go through the evening, and you see the commercial spots. pay attention to who our sponsors are so that you can go by this week and thank them for helping us bring Texarkana football. I also like to take this opportunity to thank our all-volunteer crew. Ray, as you mentioned earlier, normally we just cover one football game during the week, but because this was a special football game here of very big importance to the community, we decided to bring this tonight as well.
Absolutely, and you're asking people to give up 2 nights in a row and stand on their feet for 4.5 hours and carry all the equipment, set it up, and take it all down. And by the way, folks, we are always looking for more volunteers, and you can learn a lot about the business of producing a television broadcast, and it can be pretty exciting. So we'd love to have you out.
1st and 10 now for Evangel. Evangel back at their own 13-yard line. Bearfield setting up a little screen there, completed the 10.
Very well
15,
set up.
The 20, 25, all the way up to the 29-yard line go the Eagles, and their initial first down of the football game. Justin Ernest on the tackle for the Tigers, but not before the Eagles picked up a first down.
And again, the screens are one way you slow down a defense that's really coming fast, and that Tiger defense is coming fast.
John Jones
Take
there,
a look at the replay there.
A little screen there to Jones. Jones taking it for about 15 yards there after the reception. So a big first down for the Eagles. Their initial first down of the football game comes with 5:08 to go here in the first quarter. Eagles now at their own 28-yard line. Fairfield again in the shotgun, the only position we've seen him in. A little handoff to Jones. Jones is going to cut back to the right. He's still on his feet out past the 30, and there's a flag down at the 31-yard line. And Ray, we've seen several penalties here early in this football game. Emotions running high, and both teams out there, doing their best. And
I'll tell you, Evangel is a team that's used to winning, and they're fired up pretty bad too. And Texas High is facing a challenge like they haven't faced now for a couple of years, and so they're fired up. So we're gonna, we want it to be a good, clean game, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of emotion, some very hard hitting tonight.
3-yard run and tack on 5 yards for an inadvertent face mask will bring up a first down 2 now for the Eagles after the penalty. And Ray, interesting offensive position here. No backs in the backfield. Bearfield back in the shotgun without any running backs. We've got 3 men split out wide to the left, 1 to the right, 2 to the right, excuse me. And here comes Chris Brown and an open receiver at the...
Got a foot down.
He's at the 44-yard line. Is number 35. And he's not on our program, but Ray there, maybe a breakdown in coverage because that young man was wide open there in
really
Texas High territory.
But I'll tell you, Joe, one of the things that made that play work was that the quarterback got rid of the ball very quickly. Look, there's the Arthur 1, the KLFI blimp there, folks. He should be approaching the stadium any minute. I heard that our camera, where we could get that overhead shot, is not working tonight, but we're really excited to see our blimp.
1st and 10 now for the Eagles in Texas High territory for the first time tonight. 44-yard line. Split backs this time. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. A little handoff there to the left halfback, number 32 for the Eagles, Wes Winston. And Winston's going to go forward for about 3 yards.
Jonell White on the tackle there for the Tigers.
And right now, Ray, Tigers defense going to have to kind of buckle down here and see what they can do with this Eagle offense. The Eagle offense starting to get a little rhythm. Last week, the coach for the Eagles, Dennis Dunn, said this didn't have any rhythm, especially in the second half, and just didn't click. And they had a good week of practice, he said, and they expected them to play a lot better tonight.
And putting out that trips package again, it worked well for them. And right now they've got an uneven number of defenders. There was fixing to be somebody wide open because you only had two men to cover 3 there.
Tigers forced to take a timeout here with 3:45 to go here in the first quarter from Tiger Field. It's Texas High nothing, Evangel nothing. Back after these messages.
For most people, the purchasing of real estate will be the biggest investment of their lifetime. Whether commercial or residential, Gerald Hare Realty is committed to serving you. Dedication and over 40 years of experience make Gerald Hare the first name in real estate. We guarantee that you will get the service and assistance you need from professionals you can trust. That's what we do, and we do it well. The first name in real estate, Gerald Hare Realty.
Gerald Hare, fair and square. Gerald Hare Realty.
Back here at Tiger Field, there you see the score 0-0 in the first quarter, 3:45 to go here. It's been a football game where both offenses are trying to feel out each other's defense, and right now the Evangel offense is starting to put it together.
That's right. Now, this is their third possession, and this is the first time they've moved the ball, but they have moved it fairly well on this possession. Now the Tigers have only had the ball twice, so maybe we'll see if they start moving the ball a little better too.
Man in motion, Denny Duron for the Eagles.
Still got a miss.
Back in the shotgun.
2 receivers, only 2 defenders.
Chris Brown chasing the quarterback, and Chris Brown's got him at the 46-yard line.
And Joe, this is what you have to do against the spread. You're going to have to be able to lock up in single coverage and get to the quarterback before he can deliver the ball. And that's a great job by Chris Brown, and that's what the Tiger defense has to do.
And great job by that Tiger secondary right there. Nowhere for Bearfield to go, and Chris Brown able to come from the backside and running down. And
you have to know that when you are locked up in single coverage, play after play after play, there's going to be a time or two where they're going to find that open receiver. So, you know, you got to be prepared for the fact that you may give up a score or two, but that's the only thing you can do.
Third down now, 11 for the Eagles after the loss on the play of 4 yards and the sack by Chris Brown. Bearfield back to pass. He's got a little time. He's going to try to run the football to 45, to 40. He's going to be short of the first down at the 38-yard line.
Maybe 4-down territory there, Joe. He's only about 2 yards short, and he's into Texas High territory.
That's Jeffrey Meadows on the tackle along with Dustin Ernest for the Tigers.
And there is no punt team coming in, so they're going for it, Joe.
At the Tiger 38-yard line, 4th down and 3 for the Eagles.
Big play, and you know, you got to watch it. If the Tigers try to load up that line to just jam everything at the line, Evangel's liable to run a play action and go deep, try to hook a score up on them.
As we mentioned, Evangel throws the football an awful lot. It's really kind of like their running game when they throw the football, little short, safe passes. So
that fade route is wide open, and they're going to throw it too.
The Eagles going to be forced to call a timeout. Didn't like what they saw from the Texas High defense, and we'll take a timeout as well from Tiger Field.
I could eat broccoli every day.
Rump roast is the bomb.
What's better than spinach?
Cube steak? Mom, you're too good to me.
Dessert? I never touched this stuff.
These are not real children. They only play them on TV. Thank goodness for the Pizza Inn buffet. Freshly made pizza with 3 signature crusts, healthy salads, savory pasta, and delectable desserts. It's all you can eat and everything they love. The Pizza Inn buffet. For pizza out, it's Pizza Inn.
Back here at Tiger Field after the timeout by the Evangel Eagles, facing now 4th down and 3. First time that they've been into Tiger territory, and not going to punt the football. They're going to go for it here on 4th down and 3. And this big partisan crowd here for the Texas High Tigers on its feet, cheering on the Tiger defense. You got 3 men split out, wide to the right, 1 to the left. Bearfield's back to pass. He's got plenty of time. He's got an open receiver and just over the fingertips of the intended receiver.
A good break for the Tiger because he was open. He did have enough yardage for that first down.
That was Ronaldo Graves at the 32-yard line. So the Tiger defense, again, comes up big here and stops the Evangel Eagles. You know, Ray, the Eagles known as a high-scoring offense in previous years, and so that Tiger defense doing a good job here.
That's right.
Early in the football game.
They gave up some yards on that drive, but they've still not broken. They've done a good job of shutting down, and now we'll see Texas High's 3rd possession, see if they can move the ball as well as Evangel did on their 3rd possession.
So the Tigers set to take over.
Single coverage locked up out here.
Their own 37-yard line. Single coverage out here on Curtis Sanders. Mallet under center, going to hand the football off to Smith. Smith's going to have a very short gain. Out to about the 40-yard line, going to pick up maybe 2-3 yards on the carry. And Ray, I'm impressed with Evangel's defensive line. They've done a good job
They really have.
with the Texas High running game.
Yeah, the Tigers have been able to get maybe 2 yards. That's about it. They haven't gotten any play that's, you know, a 7 or 8 yard gain or anything. Now, Evangel seems to be treating Texas High as if Texas High is running the spread. They're going to lock up in single coverage on these receivers and just basically say our athletes are better than yours.
Allen's back to pass. Got a little pressure there. Pass is complete to Skinner. And Skinner downed him immediately.
That was a little extracurricular there.
Skinner knocked down immediately at the 40-yard line.
Evangel's going to have to watch out for that.
Dan Creamer, safety for the Eagles there. Actually, they're going to give him a couple of yards, so going to bring up a 3rd down 6. You see here on the replay, Mallett getting the pass away, and Creamer actually creaming him at the 40.
That's right. Skinner did a good job to hold on to that ball, but he didn't have a chance to do anything because he got hit the instant the ball arrived.
Great timing that time by Creamer, arriving just when the ball arrived. 3rd down now, 6 for the Tigers at their own 42. Mallett back in the shotgun. One man back there, a little screen play being set up, and it's just over the head of Roland Smith. And Ray, they had it set up there.
Joe, they did, you know, the Evangel brought a couple of blitzing linebackers in there, and, you know, again, and this is not talking about Texas High, but I have not seen a high school in the last 5 years that runs the screen the way they used to. They used to tell people, hold your block for 2 or 3 seconds, and then release your man and drift out. And now everybody runs a screen by just letting the guys run right through. And I don't know how they ever anybody makes a screen work anymore.
Allen back to punt the football. Eddie Duron, he's going to take it at his own 15-yard line. He's back to the 20. He's going to cut back to his right. He's got a little bit of running room. He's got a wedge set up over there, a big block. 25 to 30, the 35 being run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And Ray, I mentioned to you, Denny Duron, a very speedy receiver.
Fast, big-time college prospect.
And the Evangel coach is upset over there, and there's a flag now. Upset that the return man, you see here, Denny Duron cutting it back. Duron hit out of bounds there, and the coach is upset.
He really wasn't hit out of bounds. They slid out of bounds. He was hit inbounds.
Well, it's pretty close there, so the coach is on it talking about it. Going to be a penalty against the Eagles. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
You can't. Joe, I'm telling you, he wasn't hit out of bounds, but he was knocked out of bounds. He was fixing to go out of bounds, but when the contact was made, he was not out of bounds. And there wasn't any extracurricular shove or anything like that. It was. You're going to look at the replay again.
See the replay again.
Watch
here.
Where the contact is made. The contact is made at the upper body right there. Right as he was about to step out. Now, then they both went on out.
The officials there in good position, and no penalty on that, but there was a penalty after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, so a good return by Duron, but the ball going to be placed back at the 22 after the 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Fairfield back in the shotgun once again. Twins to the left, twins to the right. One man in the backfield.
Safety
Sean
blitz.
Jones.
And they picked it up.
Pick it up. And complete to Sean Jones.
Pick up about 7 yards, though, or 6.
Justin Ernest on the tackle for the Tigers as Jones takes it out to the 28-yard line.
And give a little credit to that Evangel offensive line. And Texas High really gambled, brought a safety blitz in, which is it's one of those things that it either works out fantastic and you get a sack, or you give up a big play. And the Tigers, at least, Evangel picked up the blitz, but the Tigers held it to only a 6-yard gain.
Well, that is the end of the first quarter here from Tiger Field at Graham Park. And just as we expected, a very close football game. No score here at the end of the first quarter. And we're going to take a break and be back to Tiger Field after these messages.
Hey, we're here with a bunch of friends in our racing limo to test the power of interstate batteries. So come on, check it out. Anyone for a power shake? We've got them.
Hey, this baby's cranking out some power.
Look, we're on. We're doing pretty good.
Interstate batteries, power fast, built to last.
Hey, Bobby, we just won first, second, third place.
Back here at Tiger Field, good shot of head coach and athletic director Barry Norton of the Texas High Tigers. And right now, Ray, Good football game, just as we expected here from both of these teams. Both very solidly coached, great athletes on both sides, and it's going to be a whale of a football game.
Very, very hard-fought game. Now, the Tigers may have a little more depth than Evangel does.
Has a broken play there, and so Justin Ernest of the Tigers able to get back. And Ray, somebody went the wrong way that time.
Absolutely. There weren't enough blockers for the number of defenders out there. Good job by that Tiger defense.
Bearfield turned to his left to hand the football off, and there was nobody there, so Bearfield having to take the football. No gain on the play, so now 3rd down 3 for the Eagles. Eagles at their own 29-yard line. Been a very, as you mentioned, hard-fought game here so far. Very good athletes on both sides. Both teams.
This is different look. They don't have anybody split out wide.
Bearfield back to pass. He's got some time this time. He's going to complete the pass to the 30.
There's a penalty down.
He's going to have the first down, but there is a flag down at the 33-yard line.
The receiver did a great job of using the referee to pick his man off. He basically scraped off his defender on the referee.
As we mentioned, another flag down on the play, and it is going to be
offensive pass interference. I think that may have been a pick play.
Pass interference against the Eagles. So negate the first down throw and catch for the Eagles. Back it up. Good play call there, but penalty going to bring it back all the way to the 15-yard line of the Eagles.
Now on offensive pass interference, do they still get the down over, or did he signal 4th down?
They'll get the down over. It'll be 3rd down and 17 for the Eagles, back at their own 15-yard line. $10:51 to go here in the second quarter.
Trips to the right.
Field. No score. Trips to the right. One man out, split out to the left. Lone back in the backfield with Bearfield, and Bearfield falls down at the 2.
They're going to have to punt from. I mean, it's not the pros, folks. If you put a knee down on the ground or put the ball down on the ground, you're down.
Bearfield falls down at the 2-yard line, so Eagles going to be backed up deep to punt the football, and so the Tigers should get great field position as Corey Sanders will be back deep for the Tigers, probably standing about his own 40-yard line.
And the punter's going to have to be only about 12 yards, or in fact 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So sometimes you'll see a lot of man coming in late. I don't know if they can do that. Well, each team's doing it.
Not very much room. Tigers going after the football.
It's straight up in the air. The Tigers need to get away from it.
It's going to get a little bit of a bounce, and going to be touched at the 29. So the Tigers going to take over in great field position. But Ray, early in the first quarter, the Tigers able to come up with a fumble recovery at the Evangel 13, not able to get any points.
That's right.
Let's see if they can put some points on the board this time.
I think you're going to see the Tigers start to pick up a little more on the things that Evangel's doing and take advantage of them. You don't want to play all your cards early on in the game when you're still trying to figure out exactly what the defense is going to be able to do and who you're going to be able to block and who you're not going to be able to block. I would look for that Tiger offense to get better as the game goes on, with each possession.
So 1st and 10 now for the Tigers. At the Evangel 29, little toss back to Gullett, and nowhere for Gullett to go. Also 2 on the carry. And Ray, again, I say that defensive line for the Eagles extremely tough here early.
Yes, they are, but everybody was in there. If you looked at the defensive backfield, there were two defenders back on the 2 split ends, and there wasn't another defender anywhere behind the line of scrimmage. So you think the Tiger coaches didn't notice that? I'll guarantee you they did. And you're liable to see that same play in a minute with tight end drag across the middle, and they turn around, fake the pitch, and turn right around and throw to the tight end, and he'll be gone, Joe.
So the Tigers there having some trouble getting a play in and looking at the play clock, deciding to call a timeout and talk it over here. And certainly when you're down this deep in your opponent's territory, you don't want to get in the wrong play, the wrong formation, and have a turnover or a busted play. So
that's right.
Certainly a good time out here to talk about it, get everybody on the same page, and figure out what they're going to do, because they would certainly like to get on the scoreboard right here, getting that excellent field position at the 29.
I'll tell you what, and we talk about how the Tigers really explode to the ball, but you're looking at the Evangel defense, and they come to the ball so quickly on a play like that that it's almost like running against the old gap 8. You know, and the thing about a gap 8 is you're not going to run the ball very well on them, but you sure can throw on it.
That's exactly right. So look for the Tigers to try to open it up a little bit. Not had a lot of success here running the football here in this first half, so see if they can get the pass going. Second down now, 12 for the Tigers after the loss on the running play by Gullett. Mallett back in the shotgun. Blitz there, going to throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete.
A middle screen, Joe. It was a middle screen.
Intended for Gullett on the middle screen at the 32. But a great pressure there on the quarterback and great coverage on Gullett.
And I've still been watching football for 30 years, and I don't think I've seen a middle screen work for any team yet.
I know you're a big fan of the Saints and how they use the middle screen.
I've counted the losses. I've counted 5 losses in 10 years, all completely attributable to the middle screen.
After the incompletion, third down, 12 now for the Tigers at the Eagle 31-yard line. Still no score. 9:22 to go here in the first half from Tiger Field. Mallett directing the offense. Whistles and a flag down. Another timeout being called by the Tigers. And as the Tigers
no flag there.
As the Tigers take a timeout, we'll take a timeout and be back to Tiger Field after these messages.
I love football. It's exciting to see big plays and big hits. Life can be a lot like football. Sometimes we can get hit hard in life, knocked down, and even fumble the ball. It's good to know that when that happens, that the Lord is there to pick you up. He really loves you, and He wants to put you back in the game. At First Baptist Texarkana, we're seeing God do great things in people's lives. Why don't you come this week and let God do a great work in you?
Back here at Tiger Field, there you see the score. Texas High 0, Evangel 0. And Ray, that was the Tigers' third timeout here of the first half. We still have 9:22 to go here in the second quarter.
Well, you've got a tight game here, Joe, but I know people like to save those timeouts, but when you've got this kind of field position, you don't want to give it up because of confusion.
So third down now, 12 for the Tigers at the Eagle 31-yard line, and we have whistles again. And this
timeout by Evangel.
The Evangel team going to take the timeout. And Ray, a little bit of a chess match going on right here. Now, Tigers come out. They see what defense the Eagles are in, and they take a timeout. They come back out after the timeout. The Eagles see what the Tigers are lined up, what formation they're lined up in, and they call a timeout.
You know, I know there were some coaches that I used to coach against that love to make you eat up your timeouts. And I always thought it was a kind of a I thought it was kind of a tricky strategy, but if you think about it, it's probably a good strategy. And you do things like come out on the second play of the ball game and jump into a swinging gate where you've got all your linemen 8 yards over to the left, and you know, what's the defense going to do? They're either going to give up a touchdown or they're going to call timeout.
Right.
And then of course, after the timeout, you're not in the swinging gate anymore. Right. You just burn their timeout.
So both teams here taking timeouts and talking over. The Eagles down to 1 timeout here in this first half. And Ray, as you mentioned, a very, very important down here for both teams as the Tigers facing third down and 12 deep in Eagle territory. And the Eagles certainly wanted to keep the Tigers from picking up a first down or a touchdown.
I don't know that there's a lot of yardage to be gained by punting, so this could be 4-down territory unless they have some reason they lose big yardage. Got single coverage out here.
They're going to bring a blitz. Now it's going to throw a little fade to Curtis Sanders.
It's intercepted.
It'll be intercepted at the 8-yard line. Back to the 15, the 20. Got some blockers. They're trying to cut it back. Going to be down at the 25-yard line. Number 39 for the Eagles.
Here comes a flag.
Stewart with the interception for the Eagles, taking it back to the 26-yard line. And Ray, I didn't see the action there, but I did see the flag come out. See who the officials are going to flag this time. I'm sure it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It's against the Tigers this time. And here we see the replay. Little fade throw there to Sanders, thrown to the wrong shoulder. And the defensive back able to return it.
He released it, and just as he was releasing it, the receiver cut to the inside.
And there you saw action right there at the end of the play as a Tiger offensive player hitting an Evangel player in the back after the play over with. So that's the reason for the penalty. And so
Joe, if it wasn't for the penalty, that really would not have been that difficult or that terrible a turnover right there, because if they were going to get the ball on like the 25, if you'd have punted it and it went in the end zone, they'd have got it on the 20. So you weren't looking at 5 yards worth of field position, but now you're looking at 20 yards worth of field position you gave up.
So Eagles take over at the 41-yard line. Bearfield back in the shotgun. Got some time, but here comes Chris Brown. He's going to air it out down to the 20-yard line.
Good play. And it's still caught.
It's caught at the 15-yard line on the deflection. Great concentration over there by the Evangel receiver.
Joe, that's just a tremendous athletic play. And you look at that, and the defense can't hang their head on that. That was just a tremendous athletic play.
Here we see the replay coming up. A great play by the Tiger defender to knock the ball up in the air, but number 35 is going to take the ball out of the air, and Ray, we don't have him on our chart here,
roster here.
But he made a great play. That takes tremendous concentration to go up and get a ball that's been batted
Absolutely.
like that.
And it was just unfortunate that the ball deflected up into the air, but a great play by the Tiger defender to break that pass up, and it just happened that another receiver was there to catch the ball. So
big break here for the Eagles, but able to complete the pass down to the 15-yard line. Pick up for 45 yards there on that completion. Bearfield going to hand the ball off to number 5. Going to got a little bit of running room, but it's going to be a hold, even though he takes it down inside the 5-yard line. And that is, not sure who that, oh, I know, that's, tell you what, Ray, that time, I even missed that one. Denny Duron, the wide receiver, lined up at quarterback, handed it off to Bearfield, the quarterback that time. Little trickery there.
Little razzle-dazzle there.
And it would have worked had it not been for the hold. So Duron slipping in there at quarterback, Bearfield in at running back, but a hold on the play, going to back it up. Bearfield's out of the football game, and Denny Duron is the quarterback.
I'll tell you, Joe, now you look at that from a field position standpoint, that's great, but one of the problems that Texas High faces here is Evangel's very good at throwing the ball here, and you're opening up the passing lanes more now, a lot more field to work with.
Duron back to pass, and nowhere for Duron to go.
And that's number 35 for Texas High.
That is Jarvis Robertson.
Big play by Jarvis Robertson.
Robertson back there, and Duron had no time to even look for a receiver. As Robertson's back there to down him on the play. Big loss, and here you see Duron back to pass, and Ray, he just didn't have time to even look for a receiver.
No, and that's one of the things you've got to do against the spread. You have to get the quarterback. You can't let him have any time. If he's got time, there's so many receivers out there, they will get open.
Duron still the quarterback. Bearfield out. Bearfield's in it, running back again. Duron in it, quarterback, and the Eagles going to be calling the timeout.
They'll do their last timeout.
The Eagles take their last timeout here with 7:35 to go here in the first half from Tiger Field. It's Texas High 0, Evangel 0.
The art major at State, the architect major at the university, the accountant at grad school. As diverse as they are, they all have two things in common. The same parents and their free Regions checking accounts. With Regions free Essential Banking, you get a free Visa check card, free checks, free online banking, and more. And with over 680 locations, Regions is sure to have a bank wherever your kids go to school. Now that's the spirit. Regions Bank, the strength to help you do more.
Back here at Tiger Field, the Evangel Eagles taking their last time out here of this first half. 7:35 to go here from Tiger Field, no score. And Ray, just talking about the fact that the Eagles have replaced their quarterback with one of their wide receivers, and the quarterback's now in the running back position. So a little bit of maneuvering here by the Evangel staff to see how it works out on offense. There's Chris Brown back pass. He's going to throw a little screen pass to Bearfield, the quarterback. Bearfield's got a lot of room. The 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Eagles.
And Joe, you know, we started to say something. If you notice, the quarterback was almost 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that's not normal. But a good play, very, very sharp play. They picked up on what Texas High was doing, and they cleared it out very well.
See, on the replay here, Bearfield gets the football, and Ray, nobody touches him. He's just going to outrun the Texas High
You can see the speed there, Joe. He has excellent speed, and they thought they had an angle on him, and they just couldn't quite catch up to him.
So the Eagles on the scoreboard first here with 7:25 to play in the first half. Chase Jennings back to attempt the point after. Duron holding.
Block.
Block.
Tigers can pick it up and score.
Tigers going to pick it up.
They can get 2 points. Needs a blocker. That's a forward lateral.
But they're going to keep it. They're going to score.
Frankly, we'll have to see the replay if we got it because they didn't call it. There are no flags down.
That was a forward lateral from our position.
But again, we may not have the right angle to tell.
Tigers able to pick it up and run it back. And you know, Ray, I got to think that in Louisiana, we'll see as they pick it up.
They can't do that.
They can't return the football just as they can in Arkansas. And a lateral there to number 9, Marquand Matlock, number 42.
And a good block. Oh, we cut it off right before. There was a good block there to spring Marquand for that away from that last man.
John L. White picking up the ball, laddering the ball to Matlock. Matlock able to take it in for the 2 points. And Ray, immediately I thought, you know, the Evangel players stood around and watched it. They came
right, they did not know it.
They didn't know that you can
that's one of those coaching, oh, by the ways. You know, you call them in after the play's over and say, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you guys.
And the Evangel coaching staff over there talking to the officials. Obviously, they're talking about the advancing the football or
about the forward lateral.
Forward lateral from our position looked like it, but you know, Ray, the official was in a position where I don't know if he could really see it.
And it may well be that it was not a forward lateral. It may be that the angle that we were at made it appear that way.
Could be exactly right. And to the officials' credit there, you know, that's a play that happened so quickly, just didn't have time to get back in position to be able to see that.
Yeah, he was 20 yards behind the play, too.
But, you know, the Texas High players, heads-up move there, picking up that football and taking off running with it and getting the opportunity to score 2 points. So now the score is Evangel 6, Texas High 2 after that return.
And that is the second blocked kick this year for Texas High. You know, that was a big turning point in the Arkansas High game last week.
And the Eagles having to kick it off here. And Ray, a little interesting formation there on the kickoff. Kick the ball off. It's going to go back deep into the end zone.
No run back this time.
Out of the end zone. And Ray, you know, you look at that, the way that the Eagles kick off that formation, you know, they can onside to kick the ball from there, or they can kick it deep.
Absolutely.
Like they did.
It's a very well thought out formation there.
So the Tigers on the scoreboard after the Evangel touchdown, making the score now Evangel 6, Texas High 2. So, Ray, as you mentioned, that might be the turning point of the game, just as it was last week with the Arkansas High football game when the Tigers blocked an attempted field goal.
That's right. It turned what might have been a 7-point deficit to a 4-point deficit. So you've got a 3-point swing there, just like getting a field goal.
Well, the Tigers now back on offense at their own 20-yard line. 7:25 to go here in the first half. It's Evangel 6, Texas High 2. Flags down on the play. A little movement
Offensive tackle raised up and then went back down. And once you've put your hand down, you cannot come back up again.
So the Tigers going to be penalized 5 yards. Back it up to the 15-yard line. It'll bring up first down 15 now for the Tigers. And Ray, just as we've talked about, you know, both teams well coached, tremendous athletes on both sides. But, you know, we've seen a number of penalties here in this first half, kind of uncharacteristic for both teams.
It is still early in the year, and teams are a little, you know, the further on you go in the year, the better the discipline usually gets.
First down 15 now for the Tigers. Another penalty down.
Usually motion.
Stopping the play. It's going to be some type of a motion penalty against the Tiger offense.
And now they've put themselves in a problem. They're down on their own 10-yard line, and you really limit what the offense can do without risking a big turnover and another score.
You know, Coach Barry Norton and the offensive staff not happy about that they are having to back themselves up, put themselves in that position. And then against this very, very quick Evangel defense, Ray, you certainly don't want to put yourself in a position to turn the football over. You want to be very conservative here. 7:24 left in the first half. Don't want to give them another touchdown.
And again, one of the things you want to see your teams be able to do is be able to snap the ball on 2 or 3 and slow that defense down a little bit.
A little fade throw to the corner over there. And I believe Curtis Sanders again, intended receiver.
Those Evangel cornerbacks are small, Joe, but let me tell you, they are stride for stride with the Texas High receivers. They've not been able to get any separation at all.
Normally that's a play that works very well for Texas High, and we've not seen it work at all here tonight. So incompletion there, bringing up 2nd down and 20 for the Tigers. Tigers back at their own 10-yard line after 2 penalties have backed them up. And again, Ray, don't want to have a turnover right here. You don't want to put your defense in that position.
Nope. Tigers are going to be looking for the crossing route here.
A little draw play to Roland Smith, who's still on his feet, but just nowhere to go, Ray, and he's going to lose 2 yards on the carry. Back to the 8-yard line.
And the Tigers better watch it now, because if they get in a punting situation, they're fixing to put their punters back up against the back of the end zone.
Actually a loss of 3 on the carry, all the way back at the 7-yard line. So the Tigers going to be facing 3rd down 23. And right now, Ray, certainly a time when you've got to be very conservative. Yes, you'd like to pick up a few yards, maybe a little screen pass, pick up 8 or 10 yards. Just give your punter a little bit of room, but you don't want to turn the ball over.
That's right.
You'd like to give your punter a little bit of breathing room here if you can't pick up the 1st down. Screen pass out there to the number 11, Javance Tercero, and not much there on that.
4th down, and they're
4th down and about 20
yards
for the Tigers. So picked up about 3 yards on the completion, but just, Ray, we've seen that Evangel defense very, very quick to the football. Whether it's a throw or it's a run, they get to the football very quickly. And it's not just 1 man or 2 men. It's usually 3 or 4 defenders there to the football.
That's right, and Joe, there hasn't been a lot of time even on that play. When they're that quick to it, one of the things you think you might be able to do is throw that lateral pass over there and have that man throw a pass downfield, but so far they wouldn't have had time to get rid of the ball.
Allen punting the football from his own end zone. Ball's going to go backwards, and the Eagles going to have good field position at the Texas High 40, but there is a flag down on the play, and I believe it's going to be against the Tigers. So I would imagine, Ray, that the Eagles will decline the penalty.
I would think you would decline it when you got the ball on the other team's 40.
Okay, so the official giving a signal, unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams after the play. So a declined offsetting penalty. So the Eagles will take over at the 40. Great field position here. 5:34 to go here in the first half. It's the Evangel 6, Texas High 2. And back at quarterback again, Denny Duron. Tremendous receiver, talented receiver for the Eagles. In at quarterback now. And Barfield out at receiver, split out wide to the right. Duron's going to run the football. He's out to the back to the 40, the 35, the 33. Ray, you and I talked about that on the break earlier. Looked like Duron's got some great speed.
Yes.
Put him back there at quarterback and let him run with the football. Of course, he's got a good arm as well.
Keep Bearfield in the game as a running back, because he's very effective that way too, and he's a good receiver too.
Both of them tremendous athletes and very versatile to be able to move around in different positions. And that's got to be a luxury to be able to move your quarterback to running back or to receiver, move your receiver to quarterback, and great talents there.
One thing I'd like to point out: the Evangel receivers do a great job. If they realize that the ball's going to be run, if quarterbacks have to run it, they come back and they block. And that's a lot of teams you don't see the receivers think it's their job to block, but the Evangel receivers do a great job of blocking.
Penalty down. Delay of game on the Eagles.
That helps the Tigers. It takes 2nd and 2 into a 2nd and 7.
Ray, you might have seen it right there at the end of the play as they were blowing the whistles. Chris Brown just annihilated one of the Evangel offensive linemen right there, kind of sending a message that, hey, we're here to play. So both teams, very physical teams, and we've seen that here in the first half. So after the penalty, going to bring up second down now, 8 for the Eagles. Still plenty of time to go here in the first half, 4:30 with the clock running. Second down, 8 at the Texas High 37-yard line. Bearfield, the quarterback, in it, running back. Duron, the receiver, in it, quarterback. A little slip screen there, and just nowhere for him to go on the
picked
pass.
up about 2. That referee was really in danger of getting hurt there. The running back headed right for him.
Justin Ernest on the tackle for the Tigers. And Ray, I would imagine, and I know, Evangel plays a national schedule, if you will, but I would imagine, Ray, that Evangel doesn't see the kind of speed week in and week out that Texas High has on defense.
No, this team on the defense speed is going to rival those that they would face in the last game or 2 of the state playoffs in the 5A. This is, Texas High speed is just outstanding.
Third down now, 5 for the Eagles at the Texas High 35-yard line. Duron back in the shotgun. He's going to throw the pass. It's going to be incomplete at the 25. Chris Brown, Dustin Ernest on the tackle. And Ray, that young man got hit from both sides right
Absolutely.
there.
And, Tigers lucky he didn't catch the ball because the ball was delivered where it was catchable. Now, this is definitely 4-down territory. They're bringing in a couple of people. I don't think they're going to try a 50-yard field goal, but looks like they're bringing in extra receivers.
3:29 to go here in the first half. It's Evangel 6, Texas High 2. Fourth down, 5 for the Eagles.
Now watch out. This is the same look that they had when they ran that middle screen a minute ago.
They've got Bearfield in there. Duron's back to pass. He doesn't have any receivers open. He's going to throw the ball. It's going to be dropped at the 28. It would have been enough for the first down. And intended receiver there, Derek Dunn. And Ray, the ball was delivered right where it needed to be.
That's right.
Dunn just couldn't come up with it.
And we've seen about 3 or 4 drop passes for Evangel, and that's very, very rare. That has helped out that Tiger defense.
Right now, I've got to think, Ray, that the Evangel receivers are looking around for those Texas High defenders because
there's a lot of hitting.
A lot of hard hitting going on. They're trying to figure out where they are right now, and that may be the reason that we've seen some dropped passes.
I think, yeah, it could be. They're taking their eye just a little bit off the ball, but they're both well-coached teams. You're going to see those things corrected. I'm sure by the second half they'll be corrected.
So the Tigers take over on downs. 3:23 to go here in the first half. Tigers at their own 35-yard line. Hand the ball off to Broderick Gullett. Gullett's going to pick up about 3 yards. And Ray, that's about the longest running play that we've seen out of the Tigers here tonight. Tigers just not able to get the running game going.
Not able to move the ball. The Evangel fills the hole very quickly. You'll see that there might be a hole, and then all of a sudden the running back gets hit about half a yard through it. So,
offensive line for Texas High trying to open some holes there, but right now very few holes as that very quick defensive line and linebackers fill in the holes.
Lining up Joel Skinner back at tight end now.
Skinner back at tight end, going to hand the ball off again to Gullett, and Ray just nowhere to go. As number 53 for the Eagles there, Josh Bazooka on the tackle. So just not much running room there, especially in the middle.
No, I think they're trying to make Evangel stop pressing the receivers as much as they have been. I think they're trying to get those safeties coming up to help on the run.
One thing that we haven't seen out of the Tiger offense tonight is trying to get the corner and any kind of little tall sweeps or anything like that. So that may be a possibility to try to get out wide and use some of that speed to break some runs.
We saw an early toss sweep, and Evangel left nobody in the middle of the field.
Little fade.
Fade again.
And the ball is incomplete right there. And contact, and there is a flag down on the play, but contact between the receiver and the defensive back, and I think it probably, if they were going to call something, it could have gone either way. But the penalty being called against the Eagles, 15-yard penalty. And Ray, that's a roughing the passer call.
Roughing the passer?
After the play, roughing the passer. So the Tigers getting a break there.
I wasn't watching the passer after he released the ball, Joe, so I couldn't tell you what happened.
So the Tigers getting a first down by penalty all the way down to the Evangel 46-yard line. So 1st and 10, 1:56 to go here in the first half. Evangel 6, Texas High 2. Mallett back to pass and whistles again. And Ray, I don't remember any game in recent years with this many penalties in a first half.
No, and I'll tell you what's happening though. That offensive line is knowing how quick the defense is coming at them, and they're trying to get just a little bit of a break on when that ball snaps, and you just can't do that. You've got to stay there until the ball moves, but it happens when you're facing somebody extremely fast, and all of them are facing somebody extremely fast.
5-yard walk-off will bring up now 1st down 15 for the Tigers. As the Tigers clock continues to run, Tigers going to try to get something going here and get on the scoreboard before halftime as they trail 6-2. Gullett, the lone back, Skinner in at the tight end position. Mallett back to pass. He's got some time this time. Pass is going to be almost picked off at the 42-yard line. Dakota Hinton there for the Eagles, intended for Marquand Matlock and Ray.
And the Eagles are almost in a prevent-style defense, Joe. They lined up, and you notice they weren't pressing the receivers as much. And they're saying, we'll give you that 5-yard pass, but we're not going to give you the 20-yarder down the field.
And Ray, that time the ball could have been intercepted. So, again, good defense there by the Eagles, bringing up 2nd down 15 now at the 50-yard line. 1:48 to go here in the first half from Tiger Field. Mallett back in the shotgun. He's got some protection, a little rush. And Mallett's going to throw the football down to avoid being sacked there. 2 men back in the backfield after Mallett.
No, there was no blocking on the screen. They allow him to run straight through, and that's most defenders are smart enough that if they realize the offensive man didn't even try to block them, they're going to stop and say, well, where's the pass coming? Because it's coming.
Mallett did a good job there getting rid of the football.
Very smart. Just put it where nobody can catch it.
That was going to be a sack for sure.
Or an interception.
So 3rd down now, 15 for the Tigers. Just about midfield. Mallett again back in the shotgun. Gullett, the lone back. Got 4 men out in the formation. Mallett's going to be forced to try to run the football. And Ray, he's going to pick up a half a yard before being down to right at the 50-yard line. So nowhere for Mallett to go there. And again, that very, very quick Eagle defense able to get to Mallett before anything can open up.
I look for the Tigers try to run the clock down here before they punt the ball. No point in giving the Evangel offense any extra time.
And Ray, we talked about last week an advantage of having your quarterback as your punter, and right now probably not a good time to think about any type of pass off of this 4th down play, but sometime during the year I guarantee we'll see Mallett throwing the football out of the punting formation. Mallett back to punt, punting from his own 40, a very high lazy punt, going to hit at the 15 and roll out of bounds at the 11, and that's a great punt. Get it up there very high, punt it toward the end zone, toward the sideline, and have it go out of bounds so that Duron can't get his hands on the football.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason to let him ever run it back.
So the Eagles will now take over at their own 11-yard line. 51 seconds to go here in the first half.
Joe, that Tiger defense now is going to see if they can step up, because they really got to cause a turnover or have some big play here.
You know, Ray, I haven't seen Evangel play except on TV, but I would be very surprised if they really went for big throws or anything right here with just 51 seconds to go in the first half.
It would shock me too, Joe.
Denny Duron
hand it off to the running back.
Denny Duron back at quarterback. Going to hand the ball off to Bearfield, the former quarterback. Bearfield's got some room. The 30, the 25, the 40, the 50, out of bounds at about the 46-yard line.
Joe, they had a couple of missed tackles there. They had him pinned up about 1 or 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, but
you know, Ray, you don't see that much speed usually out of a quarterback, and I see now why they put him in at the running back position.
Absolutely.
Broke a big run for a touchdown, and right there breaking another big run all the way up to the 46-yard line, a pickup of 35 yards. And, you know, I would say right now, Ray, that Bearfield has got probably 70, 80 yards rushing here in the first half.
It's a nice luxury when you can have 2 men that can throw the ball that well. Now, you can't do that.
They've got flags down again.
They had an extra man, and he was running off the field. You cannot do that in the state of Texas.
So a 5-yard mark off against the Eagles. Bring up a first down, 41 seconds to go here in the first half. There you see the illegal substitution call against the Eagles.
In the state of Texas, everybody has to go to the huddle, and they have to break out together. So you can't have a man break out of the huddle and then go off the field.
So first and 15 now for the Eagles, back at their own 41-yard line after the penalty. Huron calling out the play to the receivers. Good snap. Huron back to pass. Got a receiver open at the 40.
Oh, yeah, they got an offensive lineman holding his man down. You can't do that.
Chris Brown being held again, and that's a man that Chris Brown's been working over tonight.
Now, see, he did a great job, that offensive lineman did, of knocking Chris Brown down. But again, I don't know if this covers all the states, but I know in the state of Texas, you cannot hold your man down by staying on top of him. You have to get off of him. You can wait for him to stand back up and knock him down again, but you cannot impede him getting up.
So a mark off against the Eagles. Holding call there against the Eagles, and mark it back at the 31-yard line. So 5-yard illegal substitution penalty, now a 10-yard holding penalty.
Again, it is possible that those rules apply only to Texas schools, and the players for Evangel there are not aware of them. So, you know, that's part of the trouble you have when you cross state lines and you go to different areas to play, because you play a national schedule the way Evangel does, is you do have slightly different rules from state to state.
So now first down 25 for the Eagles, 31 seconds to go here in the first half. Huron back to pass. He's got plenty of time. This time he's going to air it out, and it's going to be intended. Almost intercepted by Chase Moody.
Intercepted.
Chase Moody down on the coverage for the Tigers at the 20.
I believe the ball came into his hands, but the Evangel receiver knocked it out while trying to get it himself.
So Eagles going for it all right there. First down and 25. It'll bring up now second down 25. 22 seconds to go here. You see the replay. He's got plenty of time to throw the football, and he airs it out there. He's got a good arm, Ray. And Moody getting his hands on the ball right there and just knocking it away from the receiver at the 20-yard line.
Great plays. We've seen great plays, and we saw a big one there earlier when Tiger defender knocked the ball away on a long pass, and another receiver was in perfect position to make the catch anyway. So we've seen some exciting football tonight, and I know we've got another half coming that's going to be just as good.
Second down now for the Eagles.
Tried a direct snap.
That's snap. Huron able to pick it up. Going to run out of bounds.
Smartly run out of bounds.
At the 25.
That was a good heads-up play to get out of bounds. They tried that direct snap to the running back, and it just went a little high and went over his head.
Which again, the running back is Bearfield, who was
another quarterback.
Starting quarterback. So
we could call them quarterbacks number 1A and 1B.
And again, you know, we talk about what a luxury that is to be able to have quarterbacks that are that versatile, to play receiver, to play quarterback, to play running back, to be punt returner.
Absolutely.
Able to do lots of different things. It's very tough to defend a team that has that much talent. But talent on both sides of the field here tonight, as we talked about in the pregame, that these are two excellently coached football teams, and they both have great talent, and we've seen that here in this first half.
It'll be really interesting tonight with the coaching staffs involved and both teams with such a reputation for top quality coaching to see what kind of adjustments are made at halftime.
Third down now, 31. Hand off to Bearfield. Bearfield going to be knocked down hard by Chris Brown.
Tigers cannot call a timeout as much as they would like to try to block a punt.
And that is going to be the end of the first half as Chris Brown knocks the ball carrier to the ground at the 29. And a big cheer from both sides of the stadium there at the end of the first half. A very hard-fought first half it was. And there you see the score, Evangel 6, Texas High 2. And as the teams lead the field here for halftime, we're going to take a break and be back to Tiger Field after these messages.
You probably only need one good reason to talk to Shelter. Insurance for your car, home, business, boat, farm, or life. But we can give you more than 1,300 reasons to talk to us. Shelter Agents. When we started in 1946, our agents all agreed on one thing. The only kind of service that counts is the personal kind. There's no better way to do business.
Ask Shelter Agents Gary Cherry or Ronnie Bell about a free insurance review.
back here at Tiger Field at Grimm Park, where the Texas High Tigers, the home team, hosting the visiting Evangel Eagles from Shreveport, Louisiana. And right now at halftime, the Eagles leading the host Tigers 6-2. Just preparing now for halftime here at Tiger Field as the Texas High Tiger Marching Band set to take the field. And just a little bit later, the Texas High High Steppers will be performing for the hometown crowd here at Tiger Field. An exciting first half, lots of action as we expected from two very talented football teams, and a great first half, and we're expecting a better second half as the Tiger Field now prepares to take the field and perform here at halftime. So sit back and enjoy the Tiger Marching Band.
who's calling me on. You want to do this? I don't know what to do. All you do is get a few shots, not many more. Tie it on the line.
High Stepper officers are Captain Amanda Hobbs, Lieutenant Tiffany Hubel, Nellie Woodward, Lindsay Jones, Mandy Clem, and Sarah Guy. The sponsor is Gigi Steele. The High Stepper of the Week is Krista Lee. Tonight we're performing Aretha Franklin's hit Rescue Me. How about a hand for the Texas High Steppers? Next, the Tiger Band and High Steppers Honor America with the Irving Berlin Classic made famous by Kate Smith, God Bless America. Please feel free to sing along. Buddy Dees, assisted by Steve Bennett, Gary Cobb, Don Colquitt, and Jody Digby. We'd like to thank the Tiger Band and High Stepper Booster Clubs for your continued support of our program. And special thanks to TISD, James Henry Russell, and Coca-Cola for your help tonight. And finally, thanks to the Evangel and Texas High fans for your kind attention during tonight's halftime show.
For most people, the purchasing of real estate will be the biggest investment of their lifetime. Whether commercial or residential, Gerald Hare Realty is committed to serving you. Dedication and over 40 years of experience make Gerald Hare the first name in real estate. We guarantee that you will get the service and assistance you need from professionals you can trust. That's what we do, and we do it well. The first name in real estate, Gerald Hare Realty.
Gerald Hare, fair and square. Gerald Hare Realty.
Back here at Tiger Field at Grimm Park, halftime just ending for the Texas High Tiger Marching Band. And Ray, they're what we expected in the first half. Two very talented football teams, two very well-coached football teams. And as you mentioned there before halftime, we'll see what adjustments are made.
That's right.
And see how both teams come out in the second half.
We know how good the Tigers are at those halftime adjustments. And I'm going to go out on a very small limb and assume that Evangel's probably pretty darn good at halftime adjustments too. So you may see a lot more out of each team's offense in the second half as they counter the things that the other team's defense was doing to them.
You know, both teams coming into the football game knew very little about each other. They hadn't exchanged films, so they hadn't played each other. So, you know, that first half was kind of a, you know, feeling out the opponent, seeing how they're going to react to different situations. And I think they're here in the second half. We'll see both offenses pretty well open up.
That's right. And because, you know, I don't really know on defensive adjustments exactly what you can do since both defenses shut down the other team's offense mostly. There's not a lot of ground to go on to say, well, here's what we need to do to stop them. Because you already did.
Second half kickoff here. Bearfield with the kick. Kick taken at the 1-yard line.
Good wedge.
For the Tigers, and a little wedge there, a little running room for Jeffrey Meadows. Meadows going to take it out to the 24-yard line where the Tigers will start the second half. And Ray, you talked about the first half there and how both defenses pretty well controlled the offenses. And we'll see here on the stats, rushing yards, glaring statistic there. Texas High, no rushing yards in the first half. Passing yards, 5 yards for Texas High, 123 for Evangel. Turnovers, 1 apiece. A lot of penalties, 100 for Evangel, 40 for Texas High. And so, but the statistic you look at there, no rushing yards for Texas High in the first half.
That's right. And so far, less than 0 in the second half, Joe.
And that's one thing that we mentioned in the first half, that the Evangel defensive line, very quick. The linebackers very quick. Just no running room for the Texas High running backs there in the first half. And a loss of 2 yards on the first carry by Broderick Gullett here. First carry of the second half.
Uh-oh. Swinging gate, and they caught him unprepared.
Caught him off guard there at the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50, still on his feet. And are going to be knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And the Tiger coaching staff wanted a penalty there on the sideline.
Yeah, there's a little bit of jawing from the Texas High player, and then the Evangel player made one of those little cut in the throat type motions, and both players could have been flagged on that. So
Ray, you talked about the swinging gate there in the first half, and never saw it on the second play here. We've seen Barry Norton call some trick plays in his years here, and there they came out, called one there very quickly.
It's a good play, caught that Evangel defense. You know, now the defense is not going to be able to huddle back up and call plays. They're going to have to just stay at the line of scrimmage and stay ready on every play.
39-yard pickup there on the swinging gate, so first down for the Tigers all the way down to the Evangel 40-yard line. Gullett, the lone back, Mallett back to pass, a little three-step drop, incomplete behind the intended receiver, Curtis Sanders.
That three-step drop, though, is going to be a good improvement there to try to let him get rid of the ball. You know, Evangel's been really coming after him and pressuring the quarterback, and that's one of the ways you negate that by going to a three-step drop and hitting receivers cutting into the lanes.
Had a little opening there, but just behind the intended receiver, Sanders. So second down 10 now for the Tigers at the Evangel 40-yard line. Just joining us, 11:20 to go here in the third quarter from Tiger Field. It's Evangel 6, Texas High 2. Not much running room there for the Tigers again. as Gullett takes it straight up the middle for a gain of 1 yard.
One of their more successful running plays of the game so far, and that is just exactly how tough that Evangel defense has been.
I think the longest gain that we remembered in the first half for the Tigers was 3 yards.
Right.
And they've had several minus rushing yards on different plays here. So the Evangel front four doing a tremendous job, and the linebackers we mentioned very quick as well. So now 3rd down 8 for the Tigers. At the Evangel 38-yard line, split backs. Now at the quarterback, back to pass. And pass is going to be intended out there for Jeffrey Meadows. And incomplete at the 35-yard line. So it'll bring up a 4th down.
They are going to bring on the punting unit.
Fourth down 8 for the Tigers. Mallett will be back to punt the football. Right here might be a possibility of throwing the football.
It may well be. You're in the other team's territory.
He's going to punt it away. A very high, lazy kick. It's going to bounce
just got into the end zone.
Just got in the end zone there. So the Eagles will take over now at their own 20-yard line. And Ray, we looked at the halftime stats right there. The Tigers, no yards rushing, 5 yards passing. The Eagles doing a little bit better, had over 100 yards total offense. But, you know, the Tigers don't often see teams with that kind of speed on defense.
And the Eagles don't often see teams that hold them to 100 yards of offense in a half.
You see here 6 first downs, 1 for Texas High, 175 total yards to 5 for Texas High. But yet the Eagles only leading 6-2. So even though they're dominating the statistics there at halftime, Texas High very much in this football game.
And really the great majority of their yards coming on about 3 plays.
Denny Duron starting at quarterback here in the second half. Back to
good
pass.
Protection.
Got some good protection. He's got a wide open receiver at the 35, out to the 38-yard line. Goes Ronaldo Graves.
And I think you're going to see the Tigers kind of try to 3-man rush, try to drop some people back and maybe pick the ball off. But, Joe, I think that the Evangel offense is going to be pretty sharp if you give him that kind of time to throw the ball.
So 1st and 10 now for the Eagles. Duron completing the pass to Graves out to the 37-yard line. Pick up a 17 and a first down.
Receivers over here.
Trip receivers for the Eagles. One man split out wide to the left. Bearfield, the starting quarterback, in at the running back position. Duron going to sprint out to his right.
He's fast.
Look for some room there. He's going to step out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Going to lose a couple of yards. And Ray, as we talked about in the first half, you have the luxury of putting Duron back there, who's got a lot of speed, able to sprint it out, and if there's nothing open, able to try to run the football. But it's
good job by the Tiger defense.
Chris Brown over there to cover. And Ray, one thing I've noticed here early in the second half is that the starting right tackle for the Eagles has been replaced in the second half because Chris Brown worked over the starting right tackle. We've got a new starting right tackle in there in the second half.
Well, you know, in defense of the original starting right tackle, there's not many people that have been able to block Chris Brown so far this year.
They're trying a new young man in there. Chris Brown is lined up over there. We'll see how he fares.
Good job that time. Ball was tipped.
Ball's tipped, but almost complete in Tiger territory at the 45.
You saw the pass just over the outstretched hands of the receiver, and that may have just been what was affected by that tip. The tip actually just made the ball go a little higher.
And Ray, you and I talked about in the first half, if the Evangel offensive line can keep the pressure off the quarterback, they're going to be able to move the football. And that's going to be one of the keys here we're going to look for here in the second half is how much time the quarterback's got to throw the football.
That's right. They gave him time on one play, and he made a nice long completion, but they gave him some pressure on the last 2 plays, and he was unable to complete the pass.
So 3rd down now, 11 for the Eagles. 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Eagles at their own 36-yard line. Trips to the left. Twin receivers to the right. Duron, the quarterback, going to step up. He's got pressure from Chris Brown. Chris Brown got him. He's going to be down at the 24-yard line. Brown getting a little help from number 42, Jonell White. And so Brown getting a hold of the quarterback, not letting go of him. So the Eagles going to be forced to punt the football.
It might have been Dustin Ernst there. I'm not sure because I think it was 43.
Okay. So Ernst and Brown in on the tackle for the Tigers, and a loss on the play, making it now 4th down and 23. Eagles being forced to punt the football. Graves the punter. Very wobbly punt there.
It's a Texas high bounce.
Texas high bounce back to the 44-yard line.
Good
so
field position.
Tigers going to have good field position here, their second possession of the second half.
And that Tiger defense has once again risen to the occasion.
You see a good shot of the overflow crowd here at Tiger Field for this big matchup of these two very good football teams. And just as we expected, very tough first half. And both offenses having difficulty getting on track against two very talented defensive units.
Chance to see if the Tiger offense can do anything with another possession. They've tried different things. Evangel has basically been able to use their defensive line to just stop the running play, and that's allowed them to really tee off on the pass. It's been very, very difficult for Texas High to do anything.
1st and 10 now for the Tigers at their own 44. Mallett back to pass. Pass is going to be broken up at the Evangel 45-yard line, intended there for Curtis Sanders. And again, Ray, as you talked about in the first half, the defensive secondary also very fast for Evangel. There's just not much room there.
There's no separation.
Not much room there.
That ball was on target, but the receiver was actually hit exactly at the second the ball got there, and it's very tough to hold on to the ball like that.
You know, and what is impressive about it, Ray, is that they've played man-on-man coverage here most of the football game, very little zone, and like you say, they have great coverage there in the secondary. 2nd down now, 10 for the Tigers. Tigers at their own 44. There's a flag down on the play. Thrown at the 45-yard line. Incompletion over there.
Could be a hold, or it could be off on the defense. It may have been a free play.
Offsides against the Eagles. So the Tigers will pick up 5 yards. They'll step it off to the 49-yard line. We'll repeat 2nd down. It'll be 2nd down now and 5. So the Tigers, in effect, getting a free play here.
Now, I tell you, Joe, there's a lot of plays that can be very, very effective in these situations, like a hitch and go, out and up. But the problem is that Mallett has not had the time to throw those. They gave him a little bit better time the last couple of times, and he's delivered a couple of balls that were actually on target, but the defenders were so tight on the receivers they couldn't complete them.
Straight I formation this time. Going to hand the football off to Smith, and Ray Smith's going to struggle just to get back to the 50-yard line. There's going to be no gain on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers. And again, the defensive line and linebacker is doing a tremendous job up front for the Eagles.
This is very reminiscent of last year's playoff game against Dallas Kimball, where the Tiger offense just had so much trouble moving the ball because of the great defensive line that Kimball has. And, in fact, they feature the #1 prospect in the entire United States, and their defensive lineman last name is Sanger.
Okay, now 3rd down 5 for the Tigers right at midfield. Mallett back to pass in the shotgun, setting up a little screen play to Smith. He's got the ball. He's going to be very close. He is going to have the first down. And, Ray, that helps when you get a big old offensive lineman behind you pushing you for the first down. I believe he's going to be short. And then number 77 for the Tigers, Aaron Kelly, came up and gave him a boost, and he got 2 more yards.
Sort of escorted him another 2 yards there, Joe.
So the Tigers getting a first down here to start the second half. And, Ray, that's only the second first down of the ball game for the Tigers.
But I tell you what, it's a big, big boost for their morale. Lets them know they can move the ball. Doesn't look like they're going to move the ball running it very much tonight, though.
Second first down of the football game coming with 8:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter. You see the score, Evangel 6, Texas High 2. Mallett back to pass. He's got some time to throw the football this time. And it's going to be intended down there for Sanders again, I believe, and just overthrown it again, Ray.
Again, there was no separation.
Great coverage. Tremendous speed, and you and I talked about before the football game, looking at the secondary, not very big, but tremendous speed and great coverage skills from that Eagle secondary.
And Joe, yeah, I have not seen any receiver get any separation tonight. Generally, if you see anybody that looks like they're by themselves, it's because their defender left them alone after the ball was already thrown somewhere else.
Second down now, 10 for the Tigers after the incompletion. Little toss.
Actually gained about 3 yards there.
Smith's going to be cut down at about the 40. That's about the most that they've gained on a running play. It's about 3 yards. That's what we saw in the first half. And Ray, as you mentioned earlier, you know, looks like there's a little bit of a hole there, but the defenders closed so quickly.
And great open field tackling by even their little cornerbacks. They have 2 very small cornerbacks, but they really do a good job of tackling.
So that brings up now 3rd down 7 for the Tigers at the Eagle 40-yard line. Big play here, 7:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tigers would dearly love to continue this drive. Split backs, Mallett back in the shotgun. 2 men split out wide to the right, 1 to the left. Little fade thrown again over there, and it's going to be broken up at the 20-yard line. And again, super coverage, and could have been picked off.
That's true. The defender had the position. He was never turned around, but he did not make contact with the receiver. But the receiver could not go over him and take the ball.
So the Tigers going to be forced to punt the football away. 4th down and 7 for the Tigers at the Eagle 40. And again, you have to be very aware of Mallett, starting quarterback, punting the football. Also, Joel Skinner back there. Very high punt, punted away from Denny Duran.
Takes a big bounce.
Bounce there.
Almost.
Just barely got into the end zone, so the Eagles will be able to take it at their own 20-yard line there.
That's 2 punts that have been just so close to putting them down about the 1-yard line, but both of them, fortunately for Evangel, have taken that last little bounce and got into the end zone.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors who help to bring Texarkana football to you each and every week. Also, all of our volunteers who help to bring great Texarkana football to us every week. And Ray will be covering all 4 of the area high schools throughout the year. So if you can't make it out to the football game, see it in person, catch us on KLFI TV 35. 1st and 10 now for the Eagles at the 20-yard line. Duran still the quarterback. Split backs, man now in motion is Sean Jones. Going to hand the ball off to Bearfield, who's got a little bit of running room.
Joe, it looked like 3 people had him in the backfield, and he just, we've got a Tiger down.
And Ray, he has got some elusive speed. He doesn't really look like he's running that quickly, but he certainly is. We've got a Tiger man down on the field there, and as they attend to him, we're going to take a timeout and be back to Tiger Field right after these messages.
And Joe, the way he went...
I could eat broccoli every day.
Rump roast is the bomb.
What's better than spinach?
Cube steak? Mom, you're too good to me.
Dessert? I never touched the stuff.
These are not real children. They only play them on TV. Thank goodness for the Pizza Inn buffet. Freshly made pizza with 3 signature crusts, healthy salads, savory pasta, and delectable desserts. It's all you can eat and everything they love. The Pizza Inn buffet. For pizza out, it's Pizza Inn.
Hey, we're here with a bunch of friends in our racing limo to test the power of interstate batteries. So come on, check it out. Anyone for a power shake? We've got them.
Hey, this baby's cranking out some power.
Look, we're on. We're doing pretty good.
Interstate batteries, power fast, built to last.
Hey, Bobby, we just won 1st, 2nd, 3rd place.
Back here at Tiger Field, the injured Tiger, Patrick Pree, 6'2", senior defensive tackle. So glad to see him walking off under his own power there, and hope that he'll be back on the field very quickly.
He's limping a little bit. I think he's got an ankle sprain, but let's hope it's nothing serious, and he'll be back. If he can't play tonight, then he'll be back for the next game. Let's cross our fingers and hope so.
A young Tiger fan there enjoying the football game as the Eagles prepare now for a 2nd down and 3 at their own 27-yard line. Duran, the quarterback. Bearfield, starting quarterback, in it running back, and he's going to get the handoff. Got a little room. Closed very quickly at the 29-yard line.
Great job there by by Dustin Ernest, and let me tell you, he just fought his blocker. It looked like he was blocked for a second, and he just absolutely shucked that blocker and delivered a big blow.
So that'll bring up.
It was enough for the first down.
It was enough for the first down. I thought it was going to be close there, but it was enough for the first down.
Wow, by about an inch, because they started them on 20, Joe, and they're touching the 30-yard line. That's it.
Just by the nose of the football, as you can see in our shot right there. Just barely made it, so the Eagles pick up a first down here with 5:45 to go, clock running here in the third quarter. 6-2 ball game as the Eagles enjoy the lead over Texas High. Again, Duran in the shotgun, back to pass, got plenty of time. He's got a receiver open, and
good play.
Just over his fingertips is Chase Moody there, able to knock the football away.
In perfect timing. He came in and delivered that blow exactly when the ball got there. Not one half a second early, not one half a second late.
So now 2nd down 10 for the Eagles, as the Tiger defense has been doing a tremendous job here this evening on a very high-powered offense.
This has been a great defensive struggle tonight, folks, and I know a lot of folks like to see a lot of scoring and all. Hey, everybody enjoys that, but I'll tell you what, you've got to appreciate the effort when you realize the talent level of the people on the field out there.
2nd down 10 now. Duran back to pass again. Got an open receiver. It's complete at the 41.
Enough for a first down.
The first down for the Eagles as number 41 of the Tigers is going to make the tackle. We don't have his name up here on the program, but a good open field tackle, but enough for another first down for the Eagles.
I'm wondering, have you seen Marquand Matlock's number out there anywhere?
Yes, number 9. He has been out there.
Okay.
I have seen him. So 1st and 10 now for the Eagles at their own 41-yard line. 5:10 left here in the third quarter. Evangel 6, Texas High 2. Three seconds on the play clock. A little bit of a wild snap there, but he catches it. Trying to run. They're going to cut back. And not much running room over there as he gets out to about the 42-yard line.
And you realize he got those 2 yards with no blockers at all out there.
John L. White on the tackle for the Tigers. And Ray, that's one thing that most teams that play Texas High are going to realize. It's almost impossible to run out wide on the Tigers. They've got so much team speed.
Now, a lot of times you can, if you try that and you realize it, and if the Tigers are flowing to the ball too quick, you may be able to get kind of a misdirection or a counter type play and catch them by surprise a little bit. But they're going to get to those corners, and they're going to get to them very, very quickly.
2nd down 8 now for the Eagles at their own 43-yard line after a 2-yard gain by the quarterback. Timeout now being called by Denny Duran as he sees something he doesn't like there and wants to talk it over. 4:06 to play here in the third quarter as the Eagles take a timeout. We'll take a timeout and be back to Tiger Field right after these messages.
I love football. It's exciting to see big plays and big hits. Life can be a lot like football. Sometimes we can get hit hard in life, knocked down, and even fumble the ball. It's good to know that when that happens, that the Lord is there to pick you up. He really loves you, and He wants to put you back in the game. At First Baptist Texarkana, we're seeing God do great things in people's lives. Why don't you come this week and let God do a great work in you?
Back at Tiger Field, as you see a great shot of some of the crowd here, overflow crowd here tonight on the Texas side as the Texas High Tigers taking on the Evangel Eagles out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And a big, big regional battle here as the Tigers have been one of the most dominant teams in the state of Texas the last few years, and the Eagles one of the most dominant teams in the state of Louisiana the last few years. So the two teams here clashing in this big first-time meeting at Tiger Field. 2nd down 8 now for the Eagles. 4:06 to play in the third quarter. The Eagles enjoying a 6-2 lead. Been a defensive struggle all evening.
Finally getting pressure.
Nowhere to throw. Gonna just throw the ball
out of bounds
over there. Great coverage by that Texas High secondary.
And that's a good coverage. That's just a coverage defense there. You know, he had some time to throw it, Joe, but he couldn't find an open receiver, and that allowed the Tiger defense to finally flush him out of the pocket and make him do something with the ball.
Jeffrey Meadows on the coverage for the Tigers, so he's going to bring up Ray a 3rd down and 8, and you know, we've not seen that much offense from either team here in the second half, so neither team really able to make any adjustments, as you predicted, to counteract those tough defenses.
Not so far.
3rd down 8 here for the Eagles at their own 42. Duran back to pass, looking to set up a little screen. Got nowhere to go. There's Chris Brown. A little cutback there by Duran. A good move, but Dustin Erner's going to bring him down at the 47-yard line.
They're going to bring up a 4th down.
Good move that time to get away from Chris Brown, but still short of the 1st down. Bringing up 4th down 4 for the Eagles. The Eagles going to be forced to punt the football. It'll be Ronaldo.
Tigers
Graves.
better get ready. The Eagles are almost on the line now.
Graves to punt the football away. Marquand Matlock will be back deep for the Tigers, standing around his own 20-yard line. Tigers look like they're coming after it. Get the punt away. It's going to be a good punt.
Let's take another bounce.
Going to go into the end zone, and it does. So Tigers catch a break there. Going to be able to start at their own 20-yard line.
Long punt there.
Very good punt. That 57 yards with the roll for the Eagles. So the Tigers going to be starting deep in their own territory at the 20. We'll see what type of adjustments the offensive staff has made right here. See if the Tigers can get something going. And if you're just joining us, the Tigers did not get a safety. They picked up a blocked extra point, ran it back for a 2-point score, and so that makes the score Eagles 6, Tigers 2 here late in the 3rd quarter from Tiger Field.
Now we saw that Mallett do a 3-step drop more last time.
And the ball off, and a big running play for the Tigers.
The biggest running play of the night, about a 7-yard gain there, maybe even 8.
Actually, you're going to mark it very close to the 1st down.
Wow.
That's a pickup of 9.5 yards that time for Roland Smith. So by far the biggest running play of the evening for the Tigers.
Joe, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Tigers try a play-action pass and go deep with it.
2nd down now, less than a yard for the Tigers at their 29-yard line. I formation. Skinner the fullback, Smith the tailback. And the ball off to Smith. He's got the 1st down. And even more, he's still on his feet all the way up to the 44-yard line. Ray, the Tiger offensive staff has seen something right here.
I think there's been an adjustment made because they have not been able to move the ball at all, and we've seen 2 nice running plays in a row now.
You know, that's a pickup of 19 yards and 2 carries, and they had no yards rushing in the 1st half. So the Tigers able to make some adjustments here and pick up some very good yardage first 2 plays of this drive. 1st and 10 now for the Tigers at their own 39-yard line. Offset I. Little toss sweep to Smith.
He got tripped up there.
Nowhere to go there for Smith. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
Joey, he kind of got tripped as he tried to make a cut inside. He might have had a couple of yards, but just caught his foot there.
That brings up now 2nd down 9 for the Tigers. Clock continues to run. 1:45 to go here in the 3rd quarter from Tiger Field. Very much a defensive battle, but certainly good football.
Single coverage on the receiver to the right.
Ray, one thing I've noticed here in the 2nd half so far, very few penalties. Mallett back to pass. Throwing a little screen play to Skinner. Skinner not getting it, but a penalty on the play there, hitting Skinner after he's dropped the football.
Just unnecessary, and I know that the emotions are running high. It's such a close game.
We'll see here coming up on the replay. A little type of screen there to Skinner. Skinner being roughed up there at the end of the play. Certainly he had already missed the play. And, you know, oftentimes, Ray, as you mentioned, you know, emotions running high, and, you know, your momentum takes you into the receiver and all of that. But the official right there on the play.
Yeah, it's a judgment call. Now, if you feel like the momentum did carry him into it, or he tried to pull off, then a lot of times the official will let it go. But if they feel like he knew the pass was incomplete and on the ground, he just decided to deliver that extra blow, the official has the right to call that unnecessary.
A little handoff to Smith. Smith's going to pick up about 4 yards on the carry. So right now, Ray, I've noticed that the Tigers are running straight ahead right here. They're running right between the center and the right guard, and they've been picking up some good yardage here.
Good job by that Tiger offensive line.
Offensive line coming off the ball now, creating some holes for the Tiger running backs. And actually a pickup of 5 yards, so it'll bring up 2nd down 5 now for the Tigers at the Evangel 40. Tiger offense starting to put it together a little bit here in this second half. Skinner in motion, and the ball off again to Smith. Smith's going to have a little bit of running room, going to pick up about 3 yards on the carry, going to be about 2 yards short.
One of the Evangel players seems to have twisted his ankle, number 42.
That's Zach Schreiber, who was a highly touted linebacker for the Eagles. So they're going to miss him. Like to certainly get him back in the ball game as quickly as possible.
I tell you, the man who came in is a very large fellow, John Bell. List him at 6'2", 225, but he looks bigger than that to me.
3rd down now for the Tigers at the Evangel 37. And the ball off again to Smith. And Smith's
going to get it by the tackle.
First down at the 35-yard line for Roland Smith.
Contact was made short of the line, Joe, but as they tackled him, they pulled him forward.
John Bell on the tackle for the Eagles. But the Tigers again with another first down. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter here from Tiger Field. And the Tigers rolling now on offense. And so as the quarter comes to an end, we'll take a break and be back to Tiger Field right after these messages.
The art major at State, the architect major at the university, the accountant at grad school. As diverse as they are, they all have 2 things in common. The same parents and their free Regions checking accounts. With Regions free Essential Banking, you get a free Visa check card, free checks, free online banking, and more. And with over 680 locations, Regions is sure to have a bank wherever your kids go to school. Now that's the spirit. Regions Bank, the strength to help you do more.
Back here at Tiger Field, a great shot of the crowd here enjoying Tiger football tonight here in Texarkana. KLFI TV 35 bringing you Texarkana football. And next week, Ray will be over at Liberty ILO's. Quinlan Ford comes to visit the Leopards.
Quinlan Ford, one of the top-ranked 3A teams in the Dallas Metroplex, so it should be a great game over there, too.
Roland Smith with a carry for the Tigers. Little toss sweep, and Ray, another good first down play for the Tigers.
That flag came in right after the ball was snapped, but it is on the defense. So.
Pickup of 6 yards on the carry down to the Eagle 29.
Basically, they can give up a yard and have first down, or they can take the play and get 1 more yard and have 2nd down.
They are going to mark off the penalty.
Actually, about half a yard.
Offside penalty, first down for the Tigers. 1st and 5 now, so certainly you want to have the down back and the 5 yards.
But the Tigers are running the ball, and they're running it fairly effectively now, and they've obviously made an adjustment. This may be a possibility that they're kind of wearing down that Evangel defensive line.
1st and 5 now for the Tigers. I formation, and the ball off again
now,
to
Joe,
Smith.
Evangel is now coming up much quicker with their safeties and their linebackers to stop that running play. Now we're going to see if Texas High can get a play action pass and hit the tight end or hit a receiver cutting across the middle.
You know, Ray, I've noticed that some of the success the Tigers are having running the football is coming out of the I formation. They ran very little of the I formation in the first half, so they've gone to that formation here in this second half.
And Big Joel Skinner at fullback is doing a lead blocking, doing a great job there.
Second down now, 4 for the Tigers, just inside the 30 of the Eagles.
Here's your play action.
They can bootleg their play action. Pass is going to be intercepted at the 19-yard line by Dan Creamer. Got a little running room up to the 30.
Oh, face mask.
The 32 and face mask.
15-yard style.
Going to be a 15-yard penalty. And there's another flag going down as a hat goes up.
Now, I know the first one is on Texas High for the face mask. And
Ray, I think the second one's on the Eagles. Because a number of the coaches ran out on the field trying to get their players away from
it looks
Texas
like a number
High.
of the players ran out on the field too, and that'll be a penalty every time.
Certainly will. So you're going to have a 15-yard penalty.
Now this should be, it should be 15 yards marked one way and 15 yards marked the other way.
Marked the other.
And I understand the emotions running high on the Evangel side when you see somebody's headgear pulled off, but I don't think that was any kind of a vicious thing. I believe that, you had an offensive lineman trying to make a tackle, and again, the man made a nice cut, and the man's hand just caught the helmet on the way up. We're just glad nobody's hurt.
That was Dan Creamer, free safety, junior free safety for the Eagles, coming up with the interception. Had a good return out to the 32 and a face mask, and then saw the official's hat go up in the air.
It's 3 flags and a hat on the field.
When they run out of flags, they look for a hat to throw.
And you'd hope there's no more penalties, because eventually the pants come flying in there, and that's terrible.
When they're throwing a hat, they've already thrown a flag. So we'll wait for the officials to sort this one out. Okay. Tiger defensive staff getting the defensive unit over there, talking to them, trying to settle them down, say, look, guys, don't need any more penalties. We want to play a clean football game, and you know that the Eagles sideline is doing the same thing. You see personal foul against the Tigers, personal foul against the Eagles, personal foul face mask. So it is 15 yards. So, Ray, 2 penalties on the Tigers.
2 penalties on the Tigers.
And 1 penalty on the Eagles. That'll give the Eagles an extra 15 yards. So basically the personal fouls are going to all set. The 15-yard personal foul on the face mask is going to count. So the Eagles will get the ball at the 46-yard line after the penalty. Got that all sorted out. Picked up all the hats and the
officials seem to be dressed again, back in the full regalia of clothing. Whereas as Andy Griffith once said, they had these convicts down there on the field.
First and 10 now for the Eagles at the at their own 46. Handoff and big running play here for Jones. All the way down to the Tiger 42 goes Sean Jones.
The Evangel seems to be very, very fired up. I think that turnover and then the personal foul penalty might have really got them fired up, Joe, but they're hitting it quick now.
Tristan Bowles on the tackle for the Tigers, but not before a big, big run of 14 yards and a first down for the Eagles, all the way down to the Tiger 42. And right now, if you're on the Tiger defensive unit, you've got to bear down and try to keep the Eagles from gaining any more momentum. Certainly the Eagles would like to put some more points on the scoreboard here in the fourth quarter. 10:30 to go in the football game. Little handoff to Bearfield. He got some running room at the 35. At the 30, still on his feet, all the way down to the 26-yard line.
He's quick and he doesn't go down very easily. It's good, tough running.
Ray, you don't see too many quarterbacks that have that kind of move right there, so unless you're a Matt Jones at Arkansas, but great moves there by Bearfield, able to escape some tackles and all the way down to the Texas High 27-yard line. And another first down. 2 plays in a row, 2 first downs.
Evangel has not been able to move the ball in the second half, but they seem to have really gotten fired up after that turnover, Joe, and they've moved the ball well on 2 straight plays.
So first and 10 now for the Eagles at the Texas High 27. 10-10 to go here in the football game. Denny Duron starting the whole second half at quarterback, started at receiver, now in the backfield as a quarterback. A little handoff on the option.